Howdy, everybody. My name's Owen Stroud, and you are in the music room. Here's a little tune called Take a Picture with Your Friends. When I was younger, I took pictures with my friends, mostly so we could show off a bit online. No one objected, it was always common sense, 'cause how else would you prove to the world that you'd had a grand old time? Well, call us silly or call us vain, but all these years later, I'm kinda glad to have those framed. So take a picture with your friends. You take a picture just to keep it. You take a picture with your friends. Oh, you never know when you might need it. Well, I grew up and got a little disenchanted with the trappings of the social media age, 'cause it never seemed too natural or candid to tell everyone lean in and look over this way. Well, call me silly or call me vain, but it'll help me years from now to not forget your name. So take a picture with your friends. You take a picture just to keep it. You take a picture with your friends. Oh, you never know when you might need it. The longer I live, the more I see that no one is ever guaranteed. They can drift away or vanish in a flash, make you wish you had some proof that for once you both crossed paths. So take a picture with your friends. You take a picture just to keep it, not even post it, just to keep it. Take a picture with your friends. Oh, you never know when you might need it. It's hard to tell just by the way this road is weaving. So take a picture with your friends. You never know when you might need it.
I really like that song, and welcome to In the Music Room.
Thanks for having me.
We're so glad you're here, and I'm really glad now that I heard that song, because, I mean, it really doesn't need any explaining. It explains itself as to the writing of it. And
That's good to hear.
Yeah.
I've always thought the best songs should explain themselves.
Oh,
so,
yeah. No, that's
good.
great, and so true, so true. So, you have another song that you're going to do for us, and it's called Cherish You Now.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a similar concept. They're kind of related, really, in that Take a Picture was inspired just by seeing somebody post a picture on Facebook of somebody who'd recently passed away, and I was thinking, whoa, you know what? I would have a lot of friends who I don't have pictures with, even though I've known them for a long time, because at a certain point, like I said in the song, I kind of got disenchanted with social media, and I'm like, no, I'm not just going to take a picture just so I can post it on social media.
Yeah.
But I realized, wow, there's a lot of friends that I don't have pictures with. And on a related note, there's a sort of mental game I play every now and then where I look at somebody that I see every day in my life, and I imagine, what if they were somebody really famous to somebody else? But to me, they're just normal. But I don't know if you ever had that opportunity to meet somebody that you'd heard of, somebody famous, like a big name. But it's kind of a shock. If you've ever had that, you're not sure what to say. They look a little bit different in real life than they do in the videos and the pictures. And I was thinking, whoa, there's this gravity that you feel when you meet a celebrity or somebody famous. Mm-hmm. And I was thinking, what if I felt that same way when I saw these people in my life every single day? Mm-hmm. So this is a little tune that I recorded a few months ago. I'll be releasing maybe in May or June. I'm not sure which. But it's just a simple piano song. This is called Cherish You Now. When you showed me a picture from when you were younger, I didn't expect to feel vaguely annoyed. Just to know how much of your life I've missed out on, and how much I would have enjoyed to have known you then, and to witness firsthand all the stories I've heard you recount. But I guess the very best that I can do is to cherish you now. Cherish you now. Have you ever been tongue-tied, rendered speechless, when you met someone you'd long admired from afar? You stammered in shell shock, grappling for words as the weight of the moment hit you like a car. Well, it's just as much of a miracle that I get to have you around. So I'm resolved to be enthralled, and that ain't hard to do, as I choose to cherish you now. Cherish you now. I don't want to be coming up empty-handed someday. I don't want to find myself scrounging through the finite vault of fading memories. But it's not out of fear of future regret that the warmth in my heart is abounding. I'm just so glad that you're here right now with me. I used to latch on to so many people, thinking our friendships would forever last. But now I've witnessed how much they are subject to changes of places and circumstance. Well, I've no idea just how long we'll all be conveniently in the same town. But I can't tell, so I won't dwell on what may or may not be. I just know I need to cherish you now. Cherish you now. Cherish you now.
Nice. I know we're not in the interview part, but which instrument do you prefer playing? The guitar to the piano, or
Oh, I love them both equally.
Yeah?
Yeah. Okay. I've been playing piano longer, and I was classically trained, and so I know the approach to piano better. Mm-hmm. I know how to tackle the hard stuff on piano. Guitar, I'm self-taught, and so there's a lot of stuff that I don't know yet how to do on guitar, even though I've been playing for a long time. Mm-hmm. And if I never get better as a guitarist, I'm still happy with where I'm at on guitar, but there's certain things that I have more limitations on the guitar, let's put it that way. But sometimes that's a really special thing, because for songwriting, I love just sitting down with my guitar. I'll get distracted oftentimes if I try to write songs at the piano because there's too many possibilities. But there's a certain tenderness you can only get out of the guitar.
All right.
Just sitting there. And there's other special dynamics about the piano, too.
Yeah. Well, at least the guitar's a little easier to travel with.
It is, yes. And this one's pretty light.
Yeah,
I love toting this one around.
You have another song called Lyman Berkeley Tanner and Hatchet?
Yes, that's my funeral home jingle.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's a first.
Every songwriter's got to have a funeral home jingle, right?
Okay.
Those funeral home jingles ain't going to write themselves. All those funeral homes out there, they need jingles.
So, like, was this kind of like a challenge to you, or did a funeral home actually come to you and say, hey, write us a jingle?
Well, I'm a Christian, and I was reading through 1 Corinthians 15, thinking about the chapter on the resurrection, but I'm kind of a weird guy, and where most people would be like, oh, I'm going to write a song about resurrection, I was immediately thinking, well, you know, if everything in here is true, and when Jesus comes back, there will be a last person to have just been buried. So, and I was thinking about funeral homes and burials and all that stuff, and so I immediately thought about this funeral home in my hometown of Leander, Texas, called Weed, Corley, and Fish. And I started thinking about all these different funeral homes that I've seen over the years that have very strange names.
Yeah.
So I decided to write a funeral home jingle for Lyman, Berkeley, Tanner, and Hatchet. Lyman, Berkeley, Tanner, and Hatchet, bring your dead and we'll work the magic. Make 'em lie in state with dignity like we've been doing since 1870. Keep 'em all safe from the underworld's tentacles. Keep 'em looking sharp with a cocktail of chemicals. Ain't any problem, we can't dispatch it. Lyman, Berkeley, Tanner, and Hatchet. Well, some of you remember back in 1948 when the Green Fork Tillamini burst the banks. It swamped the graveyard at Chantel Bend, and it took our ancestors out for a swim. But not one bone did anyone see. Them bodies was preserved immaculately. Everybody just commenced right back to visiting. That's what you get when you do your business with Lyman, Berkeley, Tanner, and Hatchet. Bring your dead and we'll work the magic. Make 'em lie in state with dignity like we've been doing since 1870. Keep 'em all safe from the underworld's tentacles. Keep 'em looking sharp with a cocktail of chemicals. Ain't any problem, we can't dispatch at Lyman, Berkeley, Tanner, and Hatchet. City Councilman Duff was a secret scoundrel. He sneaked out one night with a lantern and a shovel. He reckoned he could make some pretty good profits, rummaging around in rotten old coffins. But boy, you should have heard that big man scream when he lifted that lid and he took a peek. Uncle Herman looked better than he did alive. He said, "Howdy, Mr. Duff, mighty glad you stopped by. Lyman, Berkeley, Tanner, and Hatchet, bring your dead and we'll work the magic. Make 'em lie in state with dignity like we've been doing since 1870. Keep 'em all safe from the underworld's tentacles. Keep 'em looking sharp with a cocktail of chemicals. Ain't any problem, we can't dispatch at Lyman, Berkeley, Tanner, and Hatchet." Now we adhere to what's been said about the Lord coming back for the quick and the dead. Sure, all things are easy because he is the prime mover. Still, we do our part to make the process smoother. None of this dumping ashes in the sea, piecing them together to take eternity. Our client's gonna make the very best impressions when they're rising on up to their home in the heavens. Lyman, Berkeley, Tanner, and Hatchet, bring your dead and we'll work the magic. Make 'em lie in state with dignity like we've been doing since 1870. Keep 'em all safe from the underworld's tentacles. Keep 'em looking sharp with a cocktail of chemicals. Ain't any problem, we can't dispatch at Lyman, Berkeley, Tanner, and Hatchet.
I will say that was a very creative song. Definitely.
Well, I love it to be proud of you.
Oh, you have another song, "What If I Find You," and hopefully that's not a coffin floating down the river.
Oh, you know, it is actually.
Is it? No.
All right, let's see. Lately I've been talking about love like it's some kind of game. effort and luck it takes to move beyond the early stage. A comedy of errors and fodder for more songs, and entertaining stories about what all went wrong. But what if by the end of next spring I'm walking into a jeweler's shop to purchase a ring? And what if 2 years from now we have closed on a little 2-bedroom new build off a county line road? What if before we know it our kids are jabbering away and we can barely keep track of all the funny things they say? What if I take a leap to make it come true? What if I find you? I've been trying most of my life to be perfectly content. Thankful for the settings I find myself living in. And yet sometimes I wonder, have I set the bar too low? Is there a bigger plunge to take? Yeah, where do I need to grow? So what if by the end of next spring I'm walking into a jeweler's shop to purchase a ring? And what if 2 years from now we have closed on a little 2-bedroom new build off a county line road? And what if before we know it our kids are jabbering away and we can barely keep track of all the funny things they say? What if I take a leap to make it come true? What if I find you? 'Cause I've stopped imagining a future that looks like something other than living alone. But don't let me brush away the prospect that there could be something so much more beautiful than anything I've ever known. So what if by the end of next spring I'm walking into a jeweler's shop to purchase a ring? And what if 2 years from now we have closed on a little 2-bedroom new build off a county line road? And what if before we know it our kids are jabbering away and we can barely keep track of all the funny things they say? What if we take a leap to make it come true? What if I find you? What if I find you? Thank you. It's called What If I Find You?
You are quite the lyricist, my friend.
Thank you.
Very good stuff. If people want to find you, where can they find you on the web and your music as well?
What if they find me?
What if they find you?
What if you find me? Yeah, I got music out wherever you listen on streaming platforms. I've got 3 albums out at this point and a few other songs released at different points. Right now, the easiest way to buy the albums is through owenstroud.bandcamp.com. Or the easiest way is just to go to owenstroud.com, OWENSTROUD.com. And then there's links. There's a list of all the different places I'm playing around Texas, and then there's some links to where you can find the music.
Great. Wonderful. That was important to get that out there.
Yeah.
You have a song called The Lord Must Love a Live Oak.
Oh, yeah.
Tell me about that.
Well, I'll kind of let the song speak for it, and then yeah, I kind of talk about it in the song.
All right, go ahead.
But I can elaborate more after.
All right.
In the coastlands of the Gulf, all through the sweet hill country meadows, all through the summer evening's glow, and in their fading violet shadows, above the worn caliche paths, and in the medians of the high road, all around I see them stand. The Lord must love a live oak. Ever since I was a lad, I have marveled at their glory, the graceful twist of trunk and branch, and the boughs that would hold me. And often I've rejoiced to think how they were designed so, and I imagine how much more the Lord must surely love the live oak. Oh, they tower in royal posture to brush against the drifting sky, yet they stoop to touch the flowers that even children too may rise, so powerful and mighty, yet they guide the climber's feet, and they can't help but remind me of who called them forth to be. I've dwelt in northern climes and suffered early winter sunsets, where the trees become deprived of all their color and abundance. But when I find my way back home, I see the fairest gift that I know, a sight to warm the frozen soul. And I thank the Lord for the live oak. Yeah, when I find my way back home, oh, see the fairest gift that I know, a sight to warm the frozen soul. And I thank the Lord for the live oak. Yeah, I look around me and I know, oh, the Lord must love a live oak. Thank you.
Very nice. Yeah, I really like that, especially in the beginning when you're talking about the live oak and how strong and mighty and how it will cradle and hold.
Yeah.
And it's almost like, you know, Jesus made us in His image, but it's like he was that live oak tree. You know.
Yeah.
Is that kind of what you were getting at?
Yeah, and that's true. You know, Jesus is God incarnate, so you can take it even more, you know, tangibly like that. And I was just thinking about the concept of God Himself. You know, just the infinite nature. You know, the majesty and also the condescension. And, and so really cool concept. So I think of that every time I see a live oak tree, especially the big ones.
We got two in the front yard.
Yeah.
All right. You have another song called Shut Down Highway. Where did that one come from?
Ooh. So I pretty much live on the roads these days because I drive all over Texas, and it's been primarily kind of south central Texas for now, but I'm making little pokes up into North Texas, this being one of them.
Yeah.
I'll be playing at Opening Bell in Dallas on April 9th, so next week, and then I'll be kind of puttering around the DFW area. But I drive a lot on 35, pretty much live on 35. I've got a whole song on one of my records about I-35. But all through Austin and San Antonio, they're redoing I-35 and 1604 and 410, all those highways. And so they'll start shutting down the highway pretty early in the evening. It's like 9:15, 9:30, and sometimes I'll be wrapping up a gig, and if I get out of that gig just a few minutes too late, I miss that cutoff, and I'm stuck for an hour and a half at least in traffic, just trying to get back to New Braunfels. Y'all might think from here that New Braunfels is kind of like in the San Antonio area, but it's funny, like there'll be like months at a time where I don't go to San Antonio. New Braunfels and San Antonio are just very different in my mind.
Yeah.
Anyway, so this one's called Shut Down Highway. I've started recording this one. I'll probably release it in May or June. Here we go. Tell me, is it too much to ask if one of these nights I could get back from San Antonio without getting trapped on a shutdown highway? Tore down and tore out after the show to hightail it north before they set up the cones, but Google Maps lied, so I didn't know about the shutdown highway. No matter how early I try to beat the brake light show, no matter how bravely I test my knowledge of the surface roads, I've got a chance, I think I'll make it in time, catch a few hours at the end of the night. Got the gall to text my friends when I think I'll arrive, barring a shutdown highway. Well, I'm making great time, racing the clock, till I come around the bend and see the traffic stop. Well, so much for that, I guess I'm gonna sit here and rot out on a shutdown highway. No matter how early I try to beat the brake light show, no matter how bravely of the surface roads, can't help but think it's where I'm meant to be. Divine design for reasons hidden in me. Lord above knows this is most what I need to be stuck out on a shutdown highway. Well, I still can't do nothing now, I'm fully resigned. I watch the late mergers cutting in a line. It's just another hour, it's just another night out on a shutdown highway. No matter how early, ooh, I try to beat the brake lights show. No matter how bravely I test my knowledge of the surface roads, but I can't do nothing now, I'm sure fully resigned. I watch the late mergers cutting in a line. It's just another hour, it's just another night out on the shutdown highway. It's just another hour, it's just another night out on the shutdown highway. Shutdown highway.
Unfortunately, we're going to have lots and lots of that because I think I moved to Texas in when was it, Mom? 1979? 1979. 45, Interstate 45 has been under construction since 1979. They always find new ways to reconstruct the highway. And 35 is kind of that way, too.
I will say, that stretch between Georgetown and pretty much Dallas is all pretty nice now.
Oh, is it?
And I mean, I've got family. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, well, because I've driven that stretch hundreds of times over the course of my life because all my extended family were all across.
Including Waco and
It's almost done in Waco. It's done in Waco.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I drove through it today. It's great. I mean, I've driven that stretch hundreds of times because all my extended families across DFW. And so we make that drive from Austin. And so I got to see it back when it was 2 lanes in each direction and when they were redoing everything. And now it's great. I mean, I can just zip across, in 2.5 hours. So.
Wow, the roads are great now. So more people are going to move in, and then they're going to have to jack up the road again because it won't be big enough for all the people.
Yep.
See, that's how it works. But good song. True song. You have another one called Because I Know Who Loves Me.
Yeah. It's just a little contemplation about being out there. I'll say it's always a real treat, so special to be able to play songs directly for people. I play a lot of gigs, a lot of places, but most of those are the background music in bars and restaurants. So every now and then I'll get some people who are zoned in, paying attention to the stuff that I've made, but it can be very, very draining. Some people, maybe it doesn't bother them so much, but I really get in my head about it because I've just poured so much heart and soul into my craft. And so it can be excruciating to go through a 3-hour gig in a room packed with people and nobody so much as even looks your way, much less, gives any sort of recognition. So that can be brutal out there. I have a lot of good gigs and some that are just really, really tough, but a lot of late nights, a lot of late night drives across Texas, and you have to remember who loves you. You have to have something that kind of anchors you a little bit when you have those tough moments out there, because otherwise, again, maybe it's less so for other people, and maybe it's just my personal problem, but
I don't think so.
It can be very easy for me to stand there, in the middle of a 3-hour gig and feel like, what has my life come to? I'm just standing here, and all these songs that I've worked so hard on over the years, is this just what I'm doing now? So this is a little song called Because I Know Who Loves Me. I don't know a single one of these 10,000 people roaming through this airport. Humans all look just the same after a while, and where they go ain't mine to know. It ain't my business anyhow. I'm just another weary face drifting in denial of my insignificance in the scope of world events. And that used to send me slipping down a spiral. But these days I gotta stop myself and smile, because I know who loves me. It doesn't matter how long, doesn't matter how far, it's gonna lift me through the slugging and the struggling. It doesn't matter how dark, this warmth will light my heart, because I know. Because I know who loves me. Now I've spent the past 11 days as cargo in a van out on the road. I swear my bandmates are devoid of social skills. Well, they'll be polite, but never quite include me. Ah, well, that's just how road life goes. Just another thing I do to pay the bills. How would I ever muscle through? Yeah, what would I be coming to if my life were just these clubs and halls and bars? If I didn't have this anchor for my heart, knowing just who loves me. It doesn't matter how long, it doesn't matter how far, it's gonna lift me through the slogging and the struggling. It doesn't matter how dark, this warmth will light my heart, because I know. Because I know who loves me. Somewhere beneath the stars, somewhere and not so far, there glows within your heart a flame that somehow does not dim. You are the world to me. You make this living sweet. How could I possibly deserve the love you give? It doesn't matter how long, it doesn't matter how far, it's gonna lift me through the slogging and the struggling. It doesn't matter how dark, this warmth will light my heart, because I know. Doesn't matter how dark, this warmth will light my heart, because I know. Because I know who loves me. What do I have next over there? I can't recall what I wrote down. It's like a surprise.
Ooh, the full moon song.
The full moon song.
Yes.
All right.
Are we all going to howl?
Howl. All right, everybody. Do your best wolf howl. Count of three. 3, 2, 1. Here's a full moon song. I got on this kick for a month or so, about a year and a half ago, just writing a bunch of songs about the full moon. And anytime there was one, I just felt like I can't go to bed. It's beautiful outside, you know.
Right? But, you know, people get kind of crazy on the full moon. There is something to be said about that.
I just look at the full moon and I think, man, we only get so many of these here. only get so many full moons, so many summer nights and skips around the sun. We only see so many full moons. Lord, forgive me if I miss a single one. I've seen it hanging butter gold above a still midsummer town. Air so thick you could slice it, and the bullfrogs singing loud. Sacred was the darkness, and hope hung in the air. And poems were brimming in my heart for the girl who was not there. And the world it lay suspended beneath the moon's all-seeing eye, while the orange beams and purple LEDs specked the streets with lesser lights. But I was stock still in my tracks, loath to take another step, as if one muscle's twitch would shorten the sweet time that I had left singing. We only get so many full moons, so many summer nights and skips around the sun. We only see so many full moons. Lord, forgive me if I miss a single one. Last night I meandered through New Braunfels as it slept, hung a right turn for Seguin, and past old Freiheit on the left, looking for some barren pasture where I could discreetly park and sit for hours, playing soft little flickering notes on my guitar. Beyond the power plants and landfills and sterile tracts of starter homes, I switched the headlights off and drifted down the last few remaining country roads, and I could see that little airport beacon spinning steady as a top, and all them distant radio towers blinking faintly on and off, and those sprawling adolescent towns marked out the limits of the sky. Oh, but not right here. It's only purest silver beams that bless my eyes. The stars hung breathless in the heavens, gazing gently at the moon. They heard the night breeze through the cornfields. They heard me whisper in this tune I was singing. We only get so many full moons, so many summer nights and skips around the sun. We only see so many full moons. Lord, forgive me if I miss a single one.
You sure know how to paint a picture. Your detail and your lyric is just amazing.
Thanks so much.
You have another song. Cora, is that a special lady in your life?
Oh, there's a family that I'm real close to in New Braunfels, and they got 2 little girls, and I teach music to both of them.
Aw.
They're the only ones I teach music to. I gig and all that, and I play shows, but on Monday evenings I teach piano and guitar and songwriting to this little 11-year-old and her little 5-year-old sister. So this one I couldn't be a songwriter if I didn't write a song for each of them. So
Right.
I wrote one for Cora. This one's just called Cora. Magical child, just absolutely magical. I don't want to join the chorus of people chanting out your praise. You've heard enough of that already. Someone's got to keep a poker face. I want to lean back in my chair and act all unimpressed and gruff, to keep you aiming for the very best and not just good enough. I can't let no young musician get complacent on my watch. Oh, you dazzle everybody, and I should take you down a notch. Oh, but Cora, I absolutely adore ya. I got nothing but affection and admiration for you. You're endlessly delightful, and I earnestly implore ya. Don't you ever stop making us guess what in this world you're gonna say next. Keep on stealing away our breath, dear brilliant, beautiful Cora. I want to tell you to stop being so darn good at everything. How you're gonna have to fail at some point to figure out how to succeed, and how you always gotta be improving and analyzing your mistakes, and how you gotta fight and claw for the things you want and keep an eye out for the snakes. Cause this mean world ain't all penguins, playscapes, sidewalk chalk, and elves. I tell you, back off on the sunshine, kid. Oh, but I can't help myself. Oh, cause Cora, I absolutely adore ya. I got nothing but affection and admiration for you. You're endlessly delightful, and I earnestly implore ya. Don't you ever stop making us guess what in this world you're gonna do next. Keep on stealing away our breath, dear brilliant, beautiful Cora. Oh, Cora, I absolutely adore ya. I got nothing but affection and admiration for ya. You're endlessly delightful, and I earnestly implore ya. Don't you ever stop making us guess what in this world you're gonna write next. Keep on stealing away our breath, dear brilliant, beautiful Cora.
Now you have played that song for her, correct?
Oh, yeah.
Is she just like over the moon? I bet she's got the biggest crush on you. 11-year-old little girl. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, definitely. Your next song is Little Lucy. I'm assuming that's Cora's little sister.
That's right. That's
Okay.
right. See, after dinner, when little Lucy goes down to bed, she always requests that I play some hymns for her. Yeah, I don't have kids myself, so it's just like I think it's like the biggest honor of my life to get to go and play a bunch of old songs that I didn't write for an audience of one. Sometimes that's more special than playing a bunch of songs that I did write for a whole, bar full of people that I've never met before. And she started asking me to do that at a point. I was going through a real rough patch in my music about this time last year, and just feeling exhausted from playing everywhere possible. And I just felt that contrast between all these different places I was playing versus like the satisfaction and the joy of just getting to sit there and play hymns for a little pigtailed girl as she was falling asleep. So this is a little tune called Little Lucy. I've just recently recorded this and released it. This came out on this past Friday. Also on all streaming platforms and everything. And it's very special to me. So it's called Little Lucy. Blonde, pigtailed head, snug always so seriously study each flick of the strings. You've done your routine, you've scrubbed fresh and clean, you've gone through your questions, and now there's one last thing you need. So you ask me for one, well, I'll sing you two, little Lucy. Hey, let's make it three as you drift off to sleep, little Lucy. I've no need to move on. I could sit here till dawn and keep watch with song, little Lucy. The world is so large and you are so small. So much could happen, and you try to make sense of it all. But fear not, little dear, our Savior is near. Let His love surround you as close as these faithful old songs. And you ask me for one, well, I'll sing you two, little Lucy. Hey, let's make it three as you drift off to sleep, little Lucy. I've no need to move on. I could sit here till dawn and keep watch with a song, little Lucy. I spend most nights playing tunes that I write to entertain strangers and make token efforts bear fruit. But quite honestly, I'd rather be back in that room where I strum in a corner chair, whispering old hymns just for you. So good night, little one. Let's pretend the sun isn't still glowing and beaming through curtains behind you. For soon in the dark, the moon and the stars will hum these songs with me, and you may join if you would like to. Ask me for one, well, I'll sing you two, little Lucy. Hey, let's make it three as you drift off to sleep, little Lucy. I've no need to move on. I can sit here till dawn and keep watch with song, little Lucy. I've no need to move on. I could sit here till dawn and keep watch with song, little Lucy. Thank y'all.
I can't tell you what a pleasure it's been having you here playing for us. I'm thoroughly impressed with your music, your songs, your lyrics. Great job.
Well, thank you so much. I'm sure appreciate y'all listening and
Yes.
coming out.
I also want to thank our listening audience out there and our studio audience that turned out tonight for you.
Yeah.
Wanted to thank Gene and Barbara Moore and Bruce Davis for the pictures that they're taking of you tonight.
Yeah, thank you.
And Randy's back there in the booth getting it all fixed, so you're going to have a perfect video that's going to be on YouTube in no time.
Great. Looking forward to it. Thanks, Randy.
All right. Okay, everybody, you keep tuning in. You are in the music room.
That's right.